Hi everyone, I'm Monalisa Joshi and I'm back with another of the book reviews, and today I'm going to review a book by Dr. Sonia Batra, and this book is titled The Soul Stirrings, and it says as its subtitle, A Poetic Saga. In the beginning I did not know that why it was written a poetic saga. I thought there must be so many poems, but it actually is a saga because there's a tale, there's a story of a protagonist that's flowing with smooth words, and every emotion is raw and candid. The expression of the poet is flawless, and she is totally organic in her depicting of feelings of a woman who has seen so much of pain, anguish, has suffered a lot of trauma, and yet she was able to come out of all her despairs, melancholy and everything. And this book is divided into 4 parts. That's first segment begins with the title Narcissist, then there's depression, then there's redemption, and then love. And this book has a foreword written by Siju H. Palyatha. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but the foreword has been written by Mr. Shiju, and he has written just the things that I just mentioned, but in a more profound way. And he is also the author of bestseller Katashi Tales, and he has written the foreword. And then the poetry book begins with Dr. Sonia Batra's poem. Although she is a dentist by profession but a writer by passion, but if you read her book and all the poems in it, you will feel that she is actually a true poet from her soul. And you know what the interesting part for this book is? That it doesn't have title for each poem that runs on each page, because there's a tale going through the 4 parts that has been divided, as I've told you earlier, narcissist, and then depression and redemption, and in the end it's love. So the narcissist is the part where the real pain and despair and everything that the protagonist has suffered comes in front of you. The inner reflection of how the love stories began with bed of roses, as it always is in such kind of marriages, and then slowly the narcissist, who the people who are like that kind of, you know, they have such nature. When they have such kind of nature, they slowly start showing those traits and those features, and how much painful it becomes. It become for the female counterpart or the woman in the marriage to go through all that kind of trauma, and yet she's not able to express. So every feeling of hers is portrayed through her poetry. And then comes the part depression, that clearly shows that how much she has suffered, how much she was brought down to the level of being a doormat, and she has totally expressed those feelings in her most raw and organic way. And it will resonate with you all. If you are a woman out there, it will resonate with you, because there must be someone you might be knowing. There are so many people there are so many women who might have gone through such kind of trauma or must be in such kind of situation. So this book could actually be a help book also, or maybe a soul guide. If you read this poetry, it will help you to come out of such a situation, because there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and this is what this book says. And I would just quickly like to read a snippet or maybe few lines which I really loved, and this is from the segment redemption, because depression is the part where she has shown every pain of hers, how much she's suffering from her inside, how much she's burning in the inside, how much she's craving and longing for that past love which she got from her narcissist husband. And every time you read, the word comes, narcs are like this and they have certain kind of features, you will feel so much of, you know, connection there, because even in your growing up years, you must have seen somebody suffering through such kind of ordeal. And domestic violence is one of the biggest enemies of women in these even in this modern era, because even if you are educated, it doesn't mean that the man wouldn't be a narcissist. He can be something totally different on the inside and totally different for the outside. They are sometimes they fake their identity, and the inside is when faced, the inner beasts are when faced by the women in the marriage. They really suffer a great deal of ordeal and atrocities through domestic violence. So this poetry book says a lot about that kind of those events and those episodes taking place with her. And when she walks out, that is the time when redemption happens. And see how beautifully she has expressed, Dr. Sonia Batra, in her words. She has used in the third person way of expressing. So here I am reading. When she left it all. Some shattered dreams she hid under the torn creases of her torridly worn heart. Some broken flowery dreams she tucked under the flowery carpet of her drawing room. Some sighing and crying torments she tied to her bedpost by his daunting presence. Some she burnt in the kitchen, whistling under pressure. Some dampness she left in her bathroom. Some wetness she flushed down the pot. Some angry and dead dreams and screams she left echoing in her green garden. Some she parked next to his Jaguar, detesting his horrid words and his manipulative trance and jeers. When she left her fears too, dangling in her golden cage, fluttering here and there, for him to see how he ravished and ruined her. A little afraid of stepping out of her so-called comfortable zones, she became too comfortable in her scores. In her new world, for every dream shattered, she planted 5 brand new ones. Now, this is the best thing that redemption talks about, that how much she felt free. And there's always this feeling that women go through, that they are not able to step out of that security they get, the comfort they get. Even though they are totally surrounded by luxury and comfortable things, they are not happy in the inside. And this feeling of going back to your maternal house and thinking that what the society will say, so many thoughts that come into the mind of the women actually stops them from taking such kind of bold steps. And here the female protagonist was able to come out of her depression. This is when the redemption happened, and in the end the beautiful thing is love. Now here the protagonist is also doubtful that after going through so much of pain, atrocities, agonies, and losing a heart full of hope and so bearing so many scars, will she be able to love again? So if you really want to know that what happened, did she find her love, did she find her soulmate, you can simply pick this book up from Amazon today and go ahead, read it. I would highly recommend this book for every woman out there. This book is a soul guide for you. It will really help you out if you are someone who is stuck in such kind of situation. Read this book. It will really be an eye-opener, and in many ways it will be a good read that will, you know, cheer you up, brighten your soul, and you never know, maybe it can be something that might change your life also. So if you really want to know more about Dr. Sonia Batra, you can also find her through Amazon. There are 2 books of hers, and this is The Soul Stirrings, and I'm also going to pick the second book as well soon. So this is the love segment. I'm sorry, I won't give out the details, I have told you a lot already, but something needs to be solved by you, because there's a puzzle in the end that has been given by Dr. Sonia Batra. So if you are able to solve that thing, you can connect with her and tell her personally, and you can choose this book and also review it on Amazon. So go ahead, pick this book up. I would like to give 4.5 on 5. I love the language. I love the flow of the words. It doesn't need a dictionary. You have to just sit and read with a great flow. It's amazing. It's an amazing book. And I truly loved it. So thank you so much, Dr. Sonia Batra. I'm truly honored for reading your work. Bye. Take care. Do subscribe to my channel.